Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another bound to be exciting episode of the Quack Report with your hosts Carter and Nate. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm not doing too bad. I definitely took a lazy day today, so
Nice.
I think I woke up at around 10 o'clock. My girlfriend came home for lunch from work, and it was about 12, and I was just chilling in my boxers playing chill.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm sorry I haven't done anything yet. And she's like, honestly, if I didn't have to work today, I'd still be in bed. So it's fine. And so because like I still have to put away laundry and whatever, like just mundane chores kind of thing. But I was like, oh man, like I know I haven't done this yet. And she's just like, whatever. So yeah, I just took a lazy day for myself today. So which I'm gonna hate myself for this week probably with school, but fuck it, whatever. you gotta take those days, right?
Yeah, for sure. I wish I had one of those days, but I've got an assignment due tomorrow that I started yesterday.
Oh, so. That a boy. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You'd think after 7 years we'd have learned, hey?
Yeah, no.
7 years, 2 degrees, we'd have learned by now. But
learned what? Exactly.
Yeah,
nothing,
exactly.
Probably. So this is I mean, I guess this is my break from doing homework. I got a little bit left to do after, but
there you go.
Not a lot. Just
that's all right.
Making sure that whatever ramblings I managed to pack into 5 pages actually is coherent. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can read it if you want.
What's it about?
Accounting.
I'd rather not.
I figured.
I don't mind that class because I have to take it for my degree also, but it's the one that I'm like, you know what? If I have at least like a 75, which I think in that class is like a B or a B minus, I'm like, I'm happy with that.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Some of the other ones I'm like, okay, I'm still at a high level. We're almost at November, so I'm like, okay, I'll try to keep it up kind of thing. But that one I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'll get a better appreciation for it. I'll get a better appreciation, I guess, for what you're going to be doing. But I'm like, you know, I think I need a minimum 65 for that for my degree. Yeah. So I'm like
bare minimum then.
I'm like, okay, I'll try to at least keep like a B, like a B minus kind of thing, like a B letter grade. I'm like, that seems pretty good at least. So shows that I at least like put in effort and whatnot. So
yeah, exactly.
But and like the assignments are fine for me and everything like that. Like if I can look at reference, I understand it. But like the test and quizzes, I'm like, So, but I mean, my lowest one's been a 72. I don't call that horrible.
No, not at all.
So
not at all. Important question for you though. Did you win in Shell today?
Okay, so
I guess what mode were you doing? If you're doing Be a Pro, maybe not. But
yeah, I played a little bit of. I guess we haven't talked about the new NHL, but then again, I've been the only one who's been able to play it. So you need to hurry up and get your Series X, bud.
I'm telling you, if you're willing to donate, I'll get one.
I got the Windows Bros set up again, like just ready to go. So we just need you. So, if only like crossplay was a thing.
Yeah,
right. So, and it would make it so much easier than trying to split one game between 4 consoles, right? Because it's like you can't play. Like this would have been the game for sure, I think, to have Xbox and PlayStation players being able to play with each other. But the fact that you don't even have cross-gen, right? To have like Xbox One and Xbox Series X or S, whatever, like that, it just limits it so much. I got a buddy on Twitter, Nifty Crispy is his handle on Twitter and Twitch and all that kind of stuff. And he was playing NHL on the day of release, like at a decent hour, right? Like you're like normally like everybody is still up playing video games and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he was showing that, like on the day of launch, that the population was low. And I think it was like 1.5 minutes minimum for like the average search. And like, that's a little ridiculous, honestly. So like, I'm hoping that within, like let's say by Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, it's a big Christmas gift thing. So
EA can figure it out and have cross-gen at least.
Oh, they're not going to do it for this one. No, there's no way.
Which is stupid though. Like that makes no sense to me whatsoever why you wouldn't do that. Because doing it the way they are, would that not kind of turn off even more people from the game. You would think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I don't get a Series X, I'm not going to buy the game because I can't play with you guys. So like, why the hell would I?
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. So unless you spend an extra, I think it was like 30, you spend like an extra $30 Canadian, then you can get the cross-gen version. But it doesn't mean that me playing on my Series X, I can play with you on your one. It just means that I can take it back to my Xbox One that I have as a glorified DVD player now in my bedroom. That's literally it. For an extra $30, I can take it between consoles, but I can't play with, as far as I understand it, I can't play with the people on the previous gen console.
That's so
makes
dumb.
No sense whatsoever.
No, it really doesn't.
So
we were talking about it in our group chat the other day with EA or with FIFA, sorry, ending rights to or exclusive rights with EA. I really hope that kind of opens the door for other, I guess, gaming companies to come in and do something with sports. So FIFA is obviously the big one. So I think if you can come in with FIFA and then let's use 2K as the example, you get 2K FIFA, then maybe they'll be more inclined to do 2K NHL as well. So
yeah, the return of 2K NHL would be great. I mean, I've played every single EA NHL since 2003, so like NHL 2004. But I joke that I'm, the sole reason of EA's lights staying on because I have bought every single game as much as I complain about it, right? But it's like, hopefully this kind of thing gets fixed for next year. Like there is the improvements, but I totally get what people are saying by it's a glorified roster update essentially. But I don't believe though that the NHL games are actually on an exclusive license with EA.
Yeah, that I don't know. I just think it's not worth it for people to come into to just do NHL. Like they would have to do NFL, FIFA, NBA, and NHL.
But yeah, I don't think there actually is an exclusive license. And 2K was doing it until 2010 or 2012, I think.
Somewhere in there.
But like I played a few of those games as well, and those were great. Like their version of GM mode and everything like that. Like even just the UI of like the menus and everything like that. Like just simple things of like actually putting your guy in an office and stuff like that. Like, and it just worked well and everything. And just like there were things that during the time of the 2K games, that's when you saw EA really, kind of be forced to innovate. Like that, like the skill stick that we kind of take for granted now, that was introduced in NHL in NHL 07 with Ovechkin on the cover. But that's because 2K was still going around, right? So that actually put EA a step ahead and made that more interesting and that sort of thing. And but at the same time, I think it's that like the hockey market, as big as it is still small relative to Madden, to NBA, which 2K does. I don't think EA does an NBA game.
I don't think so, no.
But FIFA is arguably the biggest sport game in the world.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like soccer, football, however you want to address it as, that is the biggest sport in the world, right? Like it's literally just, here's a ball, you have to kick it in between two posts, right? It's super accessible to everybody and whatnot. And that's part of the appeal of it. Yeah, right. Like you could literally think about the times that like on the playground, right? You'd have two people take like their shoes off, right? And use those as goalposts. As long as you had a ball, there you go. And some space, right? You could do it on the concrete. You could do it in the gym on the hardwood floor. You could do it out in the field if you had it, right? Like honestly, it's accessible. So
like you don't even need goalposts or shoes. Like at my school, we just picked a spot on the fence. Like, okay, between this like post on the chain link fence and this post on the chain link fence, that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's so easy and so accessible that's why there's such a huge appeal to it compared to hockey, where you're spending at least $1,000 on decent gear, right? And all the time that you're spending and the rink and travel and everything like that too. Like not to say that soccer doesn't have its travel or anything like that either. It's like it's time to practice and whatnot. Like I did soccer camps when I was younger as well, so. I mean, it helped my game, but it didn't help my offensive game. Let's put it that way. I was a defenseman and a goaltender in soccer, but just starting from what you can do with the sport or how easily easily accessible it is, leads up into how many video games you're going to sell, which seems wild, but there is like the direct correlation with that, right? So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I'd be kind of curious. I'm not going to search it up right this second, but I'd be kind of curious to know, like on average, how many people play FIFA, let's say per year, kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
especially to
like
compare that to NHL, it would be super.
Yeah, like how many
think,
copies are sold or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd be kind of curious to know that. So
yeah, that would for sure be good.
I was gonna say though, but like, oh sorry, I was gonna say like with the new NHL game, like I know you haven't had a chance to play it. I've actually enjoyed it. There's a little bit of a learning curve I found to it because they actually did improve things that made it a bit more realistic, not so arcadey. So, you know, like the passes that would literally go through you to the other guy, right? Like those don't really happen anymore. They dialed back the tripping, which thank God, because that was
that
you
was
would
awful.
Like, the fact that you would watch in replays that they like the stick didn't even touch the guy's skates and he's falling. It's like, okay, come on now. Like that's when it got really bad. But you know, like if you're also the puck carrier, like you actually have to be a little bit more careful. Like it's like it's realistic, right? You don't have it stuck to your guy anymore and whatnot. So there's a little bit of the learning curve with that. I think it maybe took me 2-3 games at most to kind of do it. And like, I mean, mind you, I do play a decent amount of NHL, right? Compared to, I'd say even you and Adam are other buddy that we play World of Chell with or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve to it, but I kind of enjoyed that actually. Like having it be a little bit more realistic made it actually more enjoyable, just a little bit more balanced.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I definitely noticed just from what I've seen of the game, which honestly isn't a lot, but really I only get it to play online. So if I can't play cross-gen, then I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. Well, what was
somehow, you know, like win the lottery or something without buying lottery tickets.
Yeah. I was going to say there was the one, I mean, you were definitely younger, but like it was like the last one you had gotten was 2012 with Stamkos on the cover. Like how long was it between, like what was the next game that you bought? Was it 17?
After that?
Yeah. Or was it 15 maybe?
I got 06, 09. Actually, no, I didn't get 12. It was 09, and then I kept that one until NHL 15.
No, because we played 12 together. I remember that.
No, I never had 12. Well, maybe.
I'm pretty sure you did.
If I did, I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you have it
somehow.
anymore. But...
Yeah. So I was just trying to think of no. So yeah, it was 06, 09, 12, and 15. I got them every, I guess, 3 years. And 17, 18. So,
and you know, I'll at least give props in this respect as well. This is luckily not another NHL 15 case where there's literally nothing to do on the game.
Yeah.
So like it's like there is everything's still there, luckily, just kind of updated to the Frostbite engine, but yeah. So but
yeah, actually,
like, I'm enjoying it. Doesn't
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't 15; it was 16. So I went from 12 to 16.
Okay. Oh, so you actually were smart and didn't buy 15. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
God, that was brutal. There was nothing in that game. Like, so.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we get into a little bit of Ducks talk? Well, actually, did you play as the Ducks in NHL at all?
I think I played one game, or I played against them. I played against them.
And you lost, right? Because the Ducks are so good.
I actually don't remember the outcome. I think I did lose, actually.
Exactly, because they're good.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the real Ducks here and talk about the couple games that we've seen over the last week. All right. Let's start with the first one. I guess that makes logical sense. The 5-1 loss to the Jets on, what was that, Thursday?
Yes, Thursday.
Yeah. Overall,
I think about that one for a second.
Yeah. Overall, I thought that was a really good game. I just thought that that was a very different Hellebuck than what we saw in the first game of the season against the Jets.
That was the Hellebuck you would normally expect.
Yeah.
That we saw in the 5-1 game. I wasn't able to get a chance to watch this one. I was out watching the Flames game. So I apologize for those who were maybe looking for the tweets. But I saw the score at the end of this one, and I was like, oh, okay, so we've gone back to our old ways. But I did watch the the condensed game, or that. Definitely not the fact. So
no, not at all. Also, it was a 3-1 game disguised as a 5-1 game. Like,
yeah, exactly. There's the one empty net, and then like the very late goal that happened by Kyle Connor there. But yeah, watching the condensed game, I don't know about you, but it didn't seem like there was a whole lot wrong.
It was a very solid game.
Am I correct in saying that? Okay.
Yeah. 100%. We just got goalied. Like, and this isn't to say that Gibson didn't play well either. Like, I thought he was phenomenal as well. I mean,
I was
really,
say
four goals on however many shots. Like
4 goals on 27 shots. That's not the normal John Gibson we're used to.
No, it's not. But the 2 goals, the first 2 that they got, I thought were a lack of defense. The late Kyle Connor one to make it 5-1. I mean, there's a minute left. I think Gibson should have had that. Does it matter?
That's one
no,
I thought he should have had too. But.
Yeah. The third one, I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, was that? I think that was the power play goal.
Yeah, maybe. So it's a power play.
I can't really blame. Like, I don't really blame Gibson for any of the goals except the last one, which at that point it didn't matter in the game. So, like, that's the issue I have with save percentage, is that it doesn't take into account how god awful the defense played.
Yeah, that is very true. Here, I'll just on that point, actually, I'll see if I can find like the expected goals against and stuff like that. We can see those numbers here. So
yeah, because honestly, if you took out all the goals of the game and you just watched the entire rest of the game, I would have predicted that the Ducks would have won, because I thought they were the better team for most of it. They just didn't capitalize on their chances.
Well, and I may be incorrect in saying this, but just off the top of my head, I believe that's the first game that we ever outshot the opponent. Shots were 39-27
this season.
Yeah. So it's not for a lack of trying by any means. And we did have some great chances. We just came in contact with Vezina type Connor Hellebuck. So
yeah, exactly. Which is not what you want to do on any given night, but it happens, and that's part of the reason why I think the Jets are so good. So
yeah, okay. I'm just seeing if I can pull this game up here.
Yeah, faux show. What else? No, I'll save this for the. If we're talking about the kind of both games together, I was going to say something else, but that's okay.
Goalie stats.
You might also have to explain expected goals, because I don't totally understand them, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't.
Yeah, so it's more with like how we talk about like the high danger chances and stuff like that. It's like in relation to that, this is how many goals are expected to be allowed, kind of thing.
Based off of high danger chances given up and quality of the goaltender.
Stuff like that. And just they're kind of average play or whatever. So if your goals saved above expected is is higher, like it's above 0, obviously, you're doing pretty good. So for this game, John Gibson with 58 minutes and 32 seconds of time on ice, because he was pulled for the extra attack there. Yep. His expected goals against was 1.7. His actual was 4. And so that made his goals saved above expected a negative 2.27. So yeah, it didn't look like it was a great game for him. So it's essentially saying that there's 2 goals that normally, like in the average game, I guess, for John Gibson, they wouldn't happen. So
okay, yeah. I mean, that's great, but looking at like just actually watching the game, I just personally don't place any of the goals on him. It looked like a defensive lapse. So
that's fair.
Just in my opinion. So
I'm just trying to see if there's anything else kind of glaring here or whatnot, but yeah, save percentage for shots on goal, which is just your save percentage is an 84.6%, which is not good, especially for a John Gibson. So
yeah. But yeah, no, honestly, I just chalked this game up to Hellebuck being the better goalie. So
yeah,
whether you want to say Gibson had a bad game or not is kind of irrelevant, because besides the first goal on the first shot that Hellebuck let in, he was absolutely lights out the entire rest of the game. Like he made every high danger chance look so easy. So,
oof. Okay. Yeah, this is the numbers are showing like that's the whole thing between the eye test and the numbers too, right? Like sometimes they work with each other, sometimes they're kind of off or that sort of thing. It's showing though, because there's low, medium, and high danger expected goals.
Yeah.
So the low danger expected goals was supposed to be like 0.948. So technically none of them, right? 2 of the low danger goals were against. Okay. So, and not and 2 of them were medium. The expected was 0.785, and actually 0 high danger expected goals. Expected or actually against. So that's the eye test is one thing. The stats are another kind of, right. The advanced analytics, but from the analytics perspective, that was not a good game for John Gibson. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was a good, well, this is tough because I just said it was a good game. We just got goalied, but I guess offensively it was a good game.
I think I was going to say, I think you can still say that because Connor Hellebuck in the Winnipeg end was the better goalie, right? Yeah. So you're not wrong in your description of the game by any means, I don't think. So, because the stats do prove that, right? I guess it's more the eye test and kind of what you think and whatnot. But like we talked about, there's one or two at least, which could very well have been those low danger chances that we thought he should have had, something like that. So, really, it does kind of line up. Actually, just we're kind of piecing it together now. So,
exactly.
Either way, I don't think it was a great game for John Gibson, but it was a better game for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
which is not something we normally
defense
say.
Or John Gibson, like you want to put it on Gibson, I want to put it on the defenseman. Either way, the back end wasn't good.
It's definitely a mix of both. I'm not putting it entirely on Gibson, right?
For sure.
Because we've seen it before. You can have a world class goaltender like Andrei Vasilevsky, like Carey Price, but if they have no help in front of them, there's not a whole lot they can do. It's it's not very often that they'll steal you a game, right? If there's no help whatsoever. So it's I can't place sole blame on Gibson, nor do I want to. It's definitely a mix of both. So, but Gibson definitely didn't help the cause. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about Game 6. Unless you have anything else you want to add about the Jets game.
I don't think so. I'm excited to play them again this week.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but at least we won't have to see them after that. So
fair enough.
Yeah, Game 6 of the season. Wild take this one 4-3 in overtime. Again, I thought it was a very, very solid game all around.
This one
we easily could have just rolled over and gotten absolutely shellacked by the Wild. But we didn't. It was a solid game until the end. And at every point watching this, well, I didn't watch this game, but watching the highlight package at every point, I was like, oh man, like when are the Wild just going to take this one?
Exactly.
And they didn't. So,
this was a game that I was able to watch. I thought the 25th anniversary jersey was going to bring us some luck, and it very nearly did. So, because going into this game, I was 2-0. Like the Ducks were 2-0 while I was wearing that jersey. So yes, I'm a goalie. I get superstitious. Deal with it. But like it was going good, and I thought this was a good game, honestly, by the Ducks. There were definitely some odd penalties and that sort of thing in this game, but these were two teams that don't really like they're kind of oddly forming a bit of a rivalry, early on in
Somehow,
this season. Yeah. Which is something I didn't think I'd be saying, but yeah, let's take a like from eye test. I didn't think this was a bad game, honestly, by the Ducks.
Yeah, I agree.
It was definitely a game that could have gone either way.
Obviously, because
yeah,
it took until 12 seconds left in overtime. Right?
Ricard Raquel, Rick Rack Paddywhack, getting 2 goals in this game. I love when he scores because I can use that phrase on Twitter. Yeah. So like what was it, the first or the second game of the season that he had scored his first goal? But I had cheered and I yelled over to my girlfriend, like who was in the other room. I'm like, I got to use my favorite nickname. She's like what's that? She had some guess or whatever, and I'm like, nah, Rick Rack Paddywhack. So, but Raquel's, man, we've talked about, the team improving and certain guys improving or that sort of thing. Raquel has improved substantially already compared to last season. It's early still, right? We're only six games in, but he's looked good, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I think I'm not sure if it's because they're on a line together and they both really struggled last year, but I think not Raquel, Henrique has what am I trying to say? Words are so hard. I don't know if it's because they're on the same line or not, Raquel and Henrique, but I think Henrique has also experienced the same thing as Raquel this year, and that he's really improved a lot after struggling last year. Again, it's still early, but they've both looked really good.
Yeah, and they're both getting their chances as well. Taking a look for this game in particular, Raquel with the 2 goals on 5 shots. It's not bad. And Adam Henrique, no goals, but he had 4 shots and an assist. So it's looking decent. Ryan Getzlaf, though, taking I'm not sure if this was just like circumstantial or what, but Ryan Getzlaf took 14 face-offs in that game, losing 7, but that feels like a lot.
That is, yeah.
Isaac Lundestrom looking like he took the second amount of highest of face-offs, winning 8, losing 9. Trevor Zegras had 10 chances. Derek Grant with 3. Grew with 3 as well. Grew having 3 face-off chances with only 5:55 of ice times, actually kind of surprising, but
a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I get that Ryan Getzlaf can still do it and that sort of thing, but like, are we still sheltering the young guys a little bit? And if why?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just because Getzlaf and Terry, and I guess Comtois mostly been on that line. I think sometimes Silverberg, if I remember correctly. But either way, that Getzlaf Terry duo, I think, has by far been our best so far this season. So I think a lot of it is just coming down to that, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Like I said, it was just more of just a general question of like, are we sheltering them or something like that? Because obviously we don't want to be doing that, right? We've seen what these kids can do. Just let them play. When you let them play, we get results. So
yeah, exactly.
I just want to make sure that we're not falling into that again. So because that's not what we want right now. So
yeah, I think Getzlaf also takes the faceoffs on the power play. I don't think. Oh no, maybe it is Zegras. I don't know.
No, it is Getzlaf. I think Zegras is on the left side, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to
might line up there. I know he's on the right side for that one timer, but I don't know where he lines up. So
okay, maybe. Oh no, maybe he's on the right side. No, I think Comtois on the left. Yeah, I think you're right there. So
yeah.
But
yeah, so that's probably a big part of it as well. We had 3 power play opportunities, which we went 1 for 3 on, which is also pretty nice to see. So, and I believe our penalty kill was perfect that game.
Our penalty kill,
I just don't remember.
Here I have it here. Where'd it go now?
Okay.
Why did it go away?
Yes.
Yes, our penalty kill was perfect on 4 chances, and our power play we went 1 for 3 for a 33%, which I think during this game I had taken a look at it, and so that's par for the course, 33%.
Yeah, which is good.
So,
I mean, honestly, if we put one power play goal in a game, that's fine by me. Whether
absolutely,
it's 1 on 3 opportunities or 1 on 5, like sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about it a few times how the Ducks power play percentage was a league history worst last year at 8.9%, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember exactly how many goals that was though for us last season?
I think I heard it on one of the broadcasts or in the condensed game. I think they said 8.
That is correct. And after this game, we have already scored 6. So the power play's improved. Surprisingly,
I'd say so.
Thank you, Jeff Ward.
Well, hey, let's knock on wood. There's still
absolutely.
Quick math: 76 games left to only score 2 power play goals. Let's not count this team out, Nate.
Abysmal. My God.
Oh, could you imagine? Holy shit.
I think I'd rather castrate myself than actually go through that pain. But yeah, I didn't think this was a bad game by any means. You had a couple things here I think you wanted to ask.
Yeah, the first one, just because we talked about him a couple minutes ago on that Getzlaf and Terry line. Max Comtois has been very underwhelming for me this season, just in general. I know he was a healthy scratch once already this season, and just from watching the highlight package, it didn't look like he had a great game after coming back from being healthy scratched. But I don't know. I wanted your opinion on if he noticeably had a bad game or if you just think he was unlucky that game or in general on the whole season.
In this game specifically, I don't think it was great. He wasn't really getting his chances. Taking a look at the stats here, at least he only had 1 shot on goal. And the other attempt was blocked by a player, and he's getting his chances. He had 20 shifts that game is what it looks like here. 5 of them being offensive zone starts, 3 in the defensive end, 2 in the neutral zone, and then 10 are on the fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, his goals above expected, similar to the goals against kind of thing. But yeah, he was in the negative for that, like only 0.1, but that's kind of what happens when you're not able to get shots. Yeah, so he had 5 attempts, only 1 got on net, 1 was blocked. Or maybe that was the blocked one even, because he has 4 unblocked shot attempts. So like he's not hitting the net at all. So and that's when
do you think that's bad or unlucky?
Well, it's kind of a mix though, because he's just not getting the opportunities in general, right? So it's kind of a mix of both, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it's,
at least for this game, I think it's kind of a mix of both. So.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it's weird because if he's getting time with Getzlaf and Terry's currently tied for first on the team with 6 points. Getzlaf with 4, which also we need to talk about how Kevin Shattenkirk also has 6 points tied for first on the team. But we'll get to that in just a second. But so Terry with 6, Getzlaf with 4, and that Comtois is also on the power play with those guys, but he has 0 points this season. Like at a certain point, is that just like really unlucky? Like I
think definitely to a point, but you also have to put yourself in positions to be able to contribute, right? And I'm not 100% sure if he's really been able to do that actually.
Yeah. Again, I just watched the highlight package of this game, but I think Terry had 2 goals against the Wild. Is that right?
Terry had 1 goal.
1 goal. Okay.
1 goal on 2 shots though. That's pretty decent.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's a good shooting percentage.
Definitely on that one though. Comtois was also in front of the net and he just didn't get the tip on it, but pretty much every time I noticed Max Comtois, he was in front of the net, screening the goalie or looking for the tip. So
I guess he's contributing, but he's just not contributing on the score sheet, which is not a bad thing. But at the same time, for a guy,
we need some goals from him.
Yeah, especially from a guy that led our team in goals and points last year. Which again, it wasn't very many, but like you expect that guy to be able to contribute at least by game 6. It is getting a little bit worrying now. So
a little bit. I'm glad he got healthy scratched early on in the season. It doesn't seem like it worked and maybe he's just unlucky, or maybe he's like just snake bitten and has got to get just like a greasy one, like what's his name, Duhaime from the Minnesota Wild, like his first.
Oh my god!
Goal. Fucking bent.
Do we want to talk about
ass,
that? Yeah,
I think we have to. Bent over, ass up, trying to pick his stick up off the ice and taking his sweet time with it, and somehow gets his first NHL career goal. That honestly, it's just hilarious. Like.
This is supposed to be a shot straight up. Saw that replay, and I'm like, that's a Carter goal.
Oh, yeah. No, you're 100% right.
This is like just the luckiest shit ever, basically.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't even like a straight redirect either. It was the shot. It was a redirect which hit off his foot and in. Like he didn't even realize it for the first second. Like
yeah, he was like, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" and looked, and he's like, "Oh, the puck's in the net. Oh, wait, that's my goal." That was hilarious.
Like
he has scored since, so he has got like an actual goal. But
I was gonna say, like the saying normally is they don't ask how, just how many. The time that they really ask how though is your first goal, and now he's got to live with telling his grandkids, "Yeah, I was just bent over, my ass hanging out, basically trying to pick up my stick, and it went off the skate." I think he's gonna want to change that story up a little bit and hope that his grandkids don't find his goal on YouTube years in the future.
Oh, they're going to 100%.
Grandpa, you fucking lied. Hey, it is what I said. All right. Don't listen to the internet lies.
Yeah. Oh man. The other thing I wanted to talk about here was that offside challenge by Dallas Eakins. Am I the only one that's fucking confused on why he challenged that?
No,
you have the tablet to see that, right?
Yeah.
Was that as bad as I think it is for a challenge?
Yeah, that wasn't a great challenge. I don't think so.
Like, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, the puck's in the zone, and Hartman is like clearly off, or like in the zone. That's got to be offside." And then I was like, "Oh," but he comes out, and nobody else is in the zone, so that negates the offside.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but yeah, no, I don't think it was worth challenging.
No, so did Eakins just have that same thought process as me, but just not get to the conclusion that I think it was Hartman came out? And was like, "I'm going to challenge," and then all of the assistant coaches and all the players were like, "Yeah, that seems like sounds a good idea."
When you have the tablet with the proof right there that you probably shouldn't challenge that. Oh man, I'm kind of laughing because on one hand, I had a bit of a realization by seeing a thing that, Dallas Eakins was hired. But in the season that we started this year, it would have been 2 seasons ago, right? So technically, Dallas Eakins has not had a full season with this team. So I'm like, okay, maybe I was a little bit hard on him. But then you see shit like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like I wasn't the only one kind of thinking that. Like I was seeing stuff on Twitter of people being like, "That's Eakins out of here. Like it's not working with him in general." And we're only 6 games in, but you're seeing some of the same things already, right? Like we've talked a little bit about the roster management, a little bit more just with ice time, luckily this time, but and just trying to challenge things that like just shouldn't be and kind of costing your team, right? On like putting them on the penalty kill and whatnot. Like it was,
Okay, hear me out for a second. I know he only has 1 year left on his contract. Like this is his last year. And we were saying, just let him ride it out and don't bring him back. Like, fuck it, whatever. But with how detrimental I don't know if I said the right word there. Detrimental.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I added some letters, but how detrimental he's being to the team and the improvement of our young guys and the chemistry. Do you think it would be more beneficial to just let him go, not tell Bob Murray not to hire anybody else? Let's not go there yet. But get rid of Eakins for the rest of the season so that we can have another 76 games of maybe solid improvement from this team. And we just put Jeff Ward as interim head coach.
Fuck that. No, you had me for a moment there. You had me for a moment. Having experienced Jeff Ward as a head coach, we are much better off with Dallas Eakins. That shows you how bad Jeff Ward is as a head coach. He's fine doing the power play alone.
I'm not done.
Dude, you're giving me PTSD here.
Before Ward was named head coach, he was interim for what, 3/4 of a season? Half a season?
About half playoffs bubble for Calgary.
Yeah. About half, sorry.
Yeah, I think about half. I think it was about I think it was about that. Let me take a look here when that happened.
And I feel like he was not that bad as interim head coach for that half season. I don't think he should be brought in as the full head coach. Obviously, he's very good at what he does on the power play, but he at least has experience working with a decent NHL team as a head coach.
Okay, so Bill Peters got I guess he wasn't fired. He stepped down, or I forget what the exact wording was here. Yeah. He left the Calgary Flames at least the end of November. So, and the season shut down in March. So Jeff Ward had 4 months plus a round and a half, we'll call it, because there was the play-in in the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Having watched those months, there was a reason why when Jeff Ward was named head coach, I had to pull over and scream into my steering wheel with my girlfriend in the driver's or in the passenger seat. I mean,
okay,
like
that's fair.
Yeah, it's you had me. You had me on board for a moment there, and I was about to say, let me see who all the assistants are to get an idea on if there's somebody who could handle in the interim.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know the other assistants, but
if the most qualified is Jeff Ward, I'm saying ride it out with Eakins for the rest of the year. I don't give a fuck. I would rather ride it out with Dallas Eakins than I would put Jeff Ward in a head coach position again, even if it is only interim. So
okay, the only
Jesus Christ, man, you give me flashbacks there.
Sorry, the only third option I see is for Eakins to be let go, and then Bob Murray gets to hire somebody else as head coach. And that is by far my least favorite one. I don't have the Jeff Ward experience, so I don't. That's by far my least favorite option. But would you prefer that over Jeff Ward as interim?
Who's available? I guess unless you were to promote within our organization, like from San Diego. Who's really available?
That I don't know. I mean, I would say Wayne Gretzky, but he's got a TV deal now, so
yeah, he's doing all right on that TNT there.
I should specify NHL.
Okay, actually, the one guy who could handle an interim label, I think, is Mike Stothers. I'm just refreshing kind of on him again. Not to say that Dallas Eakins doesn't have playing experience. Obviously, his most famous moment was catching Teemu Solani's glove when he tossed it in the air in Winnipeg. Which there's a random trivia fact that I learned this week that was Dallas Eakins actually who caught that glove.
Oh really? I thought we talked about that on a previous episode.
I don't think we did, or maybe we did and I just forgot about it. If we did, it was like season 1. It was like a long time
I think
ago.
It might have been. Yeah.
And Stothers not. I thought he was a head coach for a split second in the NHL. Okay, maybe not. But he was the head coach, which it's junior, I guess, but he was the head coach for the Moose Jaw Warriors for 3 seasons. And then before that was also the head coach of the Owen Sound Attack from 2002 to 2007. He was the head coach in Grand Rapids, which I believe at the time was the Detroit farm system. Oh, okay. So, from 2015 to 2020, he was the head coach of the LA Kings affiliate, the Ontario Reign, as well as Manchester. Manchester Monarchs. He led them to a Calder Cup championship in 2015 and was the AHL Coach of the Year. So, not an NHL guy, but that's a guy that could maybe he could do okay as an interim, I guess. But
yeah,
considering that I'm pretty sure Jeff Ward is the guy with the most head coaching NHL experience, I would rather keep Dallas Eakins for the rest of the season. That's and fair. Say totally goodbye to him and Bob Murray at the end of the year. Whoever gets hired as GM next, they can bring in their guy and that kind of thing. So I would rather do that, honestly.
Okay, sounds good. That was my question. Mostly. Yeah, it's 6 games in and we're already sick of Dallas Eakins again. So
yeah. I mean, really it's not as bad as it was last year, at least.
No. Yeah.
And pray not yet. Fuck that it doesn't get to that point. But
yeah. Okay. Let's really quickly talk about overtime because you have a point here that you want to talk about, and we'll move on.
Oh my God. We talk about the benefit of getting sent down or even just being healthy scratch for a game or something like that. Does Hampus Lindholm just need a quick reset of some sort? Because even just a refresher on the rule book or just a refresher that he's playing hockey. The guy was called for closing his hand on the puck twice this week. First against Edmonton, and then second in overtime against the Wild here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really rough.
Yeah. You're not playing baseball, Hampus. And I don't even know if baseball is that widely popular in Sweden. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, that was not good to take that penalty in overtime.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say on Twitter, everybody was screaming about that penalty. What the fuck are you doing? Come on. Mm-hmm. And okay, we kind of got into it a little bit before.
Yeah.
You don't think Lindholm exactly played this wrong, we'll say. And I think he did on what ended up being the game winner. I think he played it wrong by trying to tell Raquel to cross in front of him to go after, I believe it was Hart who got that last goal there, if I'm not mistaken.
Hartman? Yeah.
Or Hartman, yeah.
Yeah.
He's telling him to cross in front of him to go do it when he's closer to the guy that Lindholm is trying to cover on a cross crease at least. Mm-hmm. But by pulling away from there, okay, Gibson should maybe have this shot as well, but it is on the move at the same time. So it's kind of a mix of both, but Lindholm is moving away from that. You see Raquel kind of look back and forth and be like, what the fuck? And try to get over to Hartman and whatnot. I think Lindholm trying to wreck that play there is what ultimately cost us, unfortunately, besides the turnover at center ice, but just that play, if yes. And you were saying how he was on the ice for a lot longer than he normally is. We'll put it that way at that point. So he's a little bit tired and that sort of thing. But
when he wasn't in the penalty box for overtime, he was on the ice. So he actually had 3 minutes of ice time in overtime.
But even then, even if you're tired, as an NHL caliber defenseman, you got to know that if the other guy's covered already, not to direct somebody to who you are closest to.
See, I don't think that other guy was covered, in my opinion. The pass option.
Raquel is at least between Gibson and the other guy. I can't remember who it was. He's in a better spot than Lindholm is to defend that guy in particular. Lindholm was in a better position to defend against Hartman. Even if it is just steering him a little bit more to the outside or putting the pressure on him. There's the difference we were talking before. I felt there was the difference between if Hartman takes that shot because he's pressured, he's like, oh shit, I got to take the shot now. It's kind of rushed. And what I felt actually happened was Hartman was given the time to set up his shot and place it exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely shouldn't have had that much time, but I don't think Raquel is, I don't think Lindholm is the guy to put that pressure on. And I think Raquel should have tried to get over there as he did. I think that was the right call because of the way that Raquel was already skating and the way that the guy, the other guy, the second guy, Minnesota guy in was skating. Raquel would have had to turn around or like stop and turn around to go and cover that guy, which would then leave him wide open. So I think him keeping that momentum going forward, Lindholm adjusting his path backwards to, cover if that guy got the pass from Hartman to cover that shot. I think that's the right play. And you leave Gibson with the shot there. Yes, it's a little bit more risky. You would rather have a body in front of that, but with how broken that play is and with how tired everybody was late in overtime, except Hartman because he just came off the bench, I think that's the right play. I don't place blame on Lindholm. I don't place blame on Raquel. I really don't place blame on Gibson, even though if I had to, I would place it on him for having that shot. But I think that was the right call by Lindholm. And let's be clear on something here. Neither of us are NHL defensemen, so
no, definitely
who the fuck knows? But
I'm also just kind of thinking it from the perspective of if I'm John Gibson, what would I rather have? I have somebody at least between me and the other guy who's the other option. There's at least something there, so I'm fine with that. So I would rather have Lindholm pressure that guy there and not give him a clean shot, because it's coming down on the rush. Right.
If Lindholm goes in to pressure that guy though, or get in the shooting lane, if you're John Gibson, wouldn't you rather fully see that shot rather than having to look around your defenseman, potentially deal with a tip, like right in front, so that it goes where you're not expecting it? Like, I don't
honestly,
really know
if it's a tip, but there's the pressure put on and there's at least the effort made, there's nothing to really get mad at there. But if you have a defenseman who's steering away from the guy who has the puck and directing somebody else to come across and defend instead, I'm a little upset with that. And I think you could kind of see in Gibson, he was a little bit upset by that whole situation there.
Maybe. I think the other thing with Lindholm as well, if he goes into pressure Hartman and Hartman steps around him, then Hartman's cutting across crease or across the ice, however you want to put it, to go around Gibson. Like he's the last guy. So I think Lindholm has to take away that dangle option and just only give him the shot. So in my opinion, the whole play was kind of broken. Positioning was bad all around. But in that moment, I don't place blame on Lindholm for trying to direct the ball there.
Yeah, and on a quick turnaround, right, it's going to be a little bit broken, and I totally get that. But again, if Lindholm makes the effort there and he happens to get beat and it goes for a cross crease, again, there's nothing really you can get overly mad about, at least, because there's the effort made, and it would have in the end made it harder for Hartman because he has to beat Gibson going across, right? And Gibson is good side to side. We know that. So
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
I want to move on from this, but I do also want to make all my points. But so the last thing I have to say, and if you don't believe me after this, then whatever.
I like that we're actually disagreeing on this. How often do we actually disagree on this show? It's strange. I wish we would disagree more.
Yeah, no, I think so too. It's good to have both perspectives. But
yeah.
And for our listeners too, we'd love to hear what you guys think. If you're Team Carter, which is Team Lindholm, or Team Nate, which is Team anti-Lindholm.
What I was seeing on Twitter, I can tell you, I think I got more people on my side.
The anti-Lindholms, I think, are just more vocal. Yeah. But the last point that I have to make is if Gibson makes that save on the Hartman shot, it's an easy save. We're not talking about this at all. There's zero discussion on what Lindholm and Raquel and Gibson should have been doing. So because it would just be an easy John Gibson save if the shot isn't a perfect shot, then I think we're not talking about it. So I think Lindholm played it the right way. It's just because Gibson's glove is made of Swiss cheese in the end of overtime. I got to attack Gibson a bit here. Then now we're talking about it and placing the blame on Lindholm.
There's gotta, yeah. I was gonna say there has to be the stats of like where a goalie gets beaten most. There has to be somewhere, right?
Oh yeah,
it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. So I don't have anything else to say. If hopefully I've convinced some people, and also I think Lindholm had a shit rest of the game. Obviously, the penalties he took were abysmal.
Lindholm's just had a bad few games, I think.
I agree with you. I think he needs a reset. Whether like just I don't know. I just think he needs a game. Just needs a game off. Same as Comtois, same as we saw with Henrique. He just needs a break to observe from the press box and be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I think he's one of our most important defensemen. So
yeah. And there you go. We're back to agreement.
Yeah. Okay. That was a long talk about the Minnesota Wild game, but there was a lot to talk about. So do you have anything else you want to talk about either of these games or the Wild one in general, or anything else you want to say about Lindholm?
Nothing else. I think we're good.
Okay, let's throw it over to our friends over at DraftKings. And on the other side of that, we have just a couple quick things to talk about before we wrap up the episode.
NFL fans, are you hungry for a big win this week? Well, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, has you covered. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's that simple. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings daily fantasy sports contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, and bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and you can win $200 in free bets. If they win, you win, with promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Okay, I realized we didn't actually talk about this either. Kevin Shattenkirk with 6 points already in 6 games this season.
Damn.
What the fuck's going on with that?
Shat Daddy came out to play.
Yeah, he's been shatting his pants before the game and just getting that extra energy or something. I don't know.
Shit. Sorry. Here's something we missed. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with the Shattenkirk thing.
That's okay. Oh, is it about Getzlaf?
Yeah, I'm just seeing this now for the first time. Actually, I'm glad that we saw it now.
I meant to add that, and I totally forgot. But now that you say so,
okay, you want another rant from me? What a bullshit call that was. On top of the fine being handed out for it, I think that was bullshit.
I didn't see it, so
Getzlaf got fined $1,000 for. Oh, sorry. No, this is what the fuck?
He didn't get called. He didn't get a penalty on the play, but I haven't seen the play, so I can't comment on the fine.
What? Okay, I got a little ahead of myself. I thought he was getting fined for the $1,000 for the cross-checking penalty that he got against Eriksson Ek. Which that was the one I was saying was a bullshit call. I know that they're trying to crack down on cross-checking.
That's exactly
and
why,
that's a good thing, right? Yeah. Like there are a lot of guys that get away with way too much, but Getzlaf's quote unquote cross-check. No, that was Eriksson Ek just diving. Sodapod, you can come at me if you want to, but
didn't he get embellishment on that?
Or
am I thinking of something else?
I think it was something else.
Oh, yes, he got embellishment on the Lindholm trip. That's what it was.
Yeah, but man, were the Wild just playing it up in that game? It was honestly embarrassing to watch that aspect of it. Like, I get trying to get a call your way or that sort of thing. Like in this case, but like that was bad.
Yeah.
So, because like the whole thing of like cross checking is if like you're extending your arms out or that sort of thing, right? And in this case, Getzlaf just has his stick in both hands and pretty much bumps into the back of Eriksson Ek after the play's done. And Eriksson Ek just dropped down faster than I've seen a sack of potatoes go down. Like it was bad. So
Yeah,
and like
I haven't seen it, but
okay,
I know Eriksson Ek is a big diver.
yeah. And we'll put it this way. I don't know why I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but the broadcast crew for Bally Sports for the Anaheim Ducks broadcasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're normally pretty good at being not biased, right?
It depends on the team, but
yeah, depending. But for the most part, right? They're not like a Jack Edwards in Boston where everything is Boston, right?
Yeah,
They can watch the game pretty down the middle, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they watch it through orange colored glasses. It's more like orange tinted. Like there's just a hint of orange.
Right. Well, and obviously you need to because it's a Ducks broadcast, right? So you want a
what the
little
home
bit
feed
of
does,
that favor, but you're still normally trying to be as much in the middle as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and you don't normally hear those two guys get riled up, and they got riled up off of that cross-checking penalty. They were like, "That is crap!" Like, So
I feel like I remember them talking about it last year quite a bit too, whenever we played Minnesota, and it was always about Eriksson Ek. So
but anyway, Ryan Getzlaf fined $1,000 for his penalty for a dangerous trip against Eriksson Ek of the Wild as well. I just saw Eriksson Ek and that he was fine. I thought it was a cross check right away, so I was just like, "What the fuck?" But still. So the incident occurred at 1:33 of overtime. I'll have to take a look at that again, actually.
Yeah, but I couldn't find any clips on it just immediately before we started recording. So I haven't seen it. I can't even imagine what constitutes a dangerous trip unless it was like near the boards and
or like
the only effort he put in was like with his stick in the legs. So
I don't know. But
for Getzlaf's $4.5 million salary this year, it's all
it's whatever. I was just I thought it was for the cross check, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I had a question I wanted to ask you just when we were watching talking about the Winnipeg stuff and when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I just a general question for you. I'm going to put myself on full screen here.
Okay.
And if you're just listening, I will talk about what I'm showing at least here. So I want to ask your opinion, Carter, on which jersey you like better of the Winnipeg Jets. All right.
I hate them both.
Do you like the one that they debuted in 2010? You got it right here with like the RCAF inspired logo or whatnot. I even got where am I going here? I even got the the inaugural season patch put on this one.
Yeah. Yep.
So because I did get this jersey actually the year that they came into the league.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know a lot of Winnipeg fans are wanting the return of like the Heritage Classic jerseys, like the old school look.
Oh yeah.
So which one do you like better?
Yeah, personally I like the classic Winnipeg Jets look better. I think it would be really cool to add a bit of a modern twist and implement a little bit of that light blue in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. But really, I guess my answer is kind of a shitty one, and then I really don't mind both. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the at least the logo of the classic. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do agree too. I was looking at the I forget how I even came to this thought. I think I was doing like a jersey concept for the Winnipeg Jets as well. And I took a look at that logo, and like there are some logos that, stand the test of time, right? Such as the Mighty Ducks logo. Like it's a 90s logo, but it still works today, right? Or I'm trying to think of other ones around the league. The New York
logo,
Island,
the Habs logo.
Yeah, like those ones have been updated kind of throughout the years, right? But
the Habs hasn't really, has it? Not for a long time, anyways.
It's had like tweaks done to it essentially. So, but like the basis of it was the C and the H. Trying to think of some others here. I don't know, like the Calgary Flames. That one has stood since they moved to Calgary in 1980. Going over to the East Coast, the Rangers haven't changed their logo a whole lot. Same kind of thing. They've just kind of tweaked it. And they don't even have the logo on their jersey anyway. Even the New Jersey Devils, right? Like that one was designed in the 70s, but it's stuck the same way and it still works today, right?
Yeah.
I took a look at that Winnipeg Jets, like the Winnipeg Jets 2.0 logo, we'll call it. That was introduced when the team was when Atlanta relocated to Winnipeg. I feel like that logo is actually a little dated. It feels very early 2010s.
Yeah,
so I think it still kind of works, but I could see like a tweak working in its favor. But that's why I think the classic Winnipeg works, because it's similar to the Mighty Ducks logo, where yes, you can tell when it was designed, but it still works today, I think. So
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Anaheim Ducks need to go back to the Mighty Duck logo. We know my opinion on that. We know pretty much everybody's opinion on that one. So,
yeah.
But that's as far as I'll take that one. I'm not going to get into that again.
Well, we're on the topic of Winnipeg, though. That is our lone upcoming game between this episode and next episode. So we get to finish off our season series against them already.
Yeah.
The second game wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. There was pretty much no
I thought it was going to be a little
repercussions
bit
from Copp,
more.
so
yeah.
Whatever. I think part of it just has to do with Gibson only really missing a game. So
yeah,
if he was still out at that point, it probably would have been a little bit more hectic. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm guessing, or maybe we're the only ones that care. I don't know. But really, all I have to say about this Winnipeg game is Wheeler and Scheifele are out with COVID protocol as of right now. We're unsure if they'll be back for those games. Obviously, they were out when we played them last time, and it didn't seem to affect the Jets at all. So maybe we do want them to come back, mess up the chemistry, and then we'll get a win.
Yeah, no idea. So,
but I mean, you guys know Winnipeg. We've seen them twice already. I don't have anything useful to contribute to that.
Yeah, I got nothing. So we'll see the game on Tuesday. So
okay, sounds good. We got one piece of news here. I'll just let you take this one. This is something you wanted to talk about. You got a little bit more info on it than I do. So,
okay, good.
If you want to go for it, then I'll let you.
So, Elliot Friedman on the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast, I believe it was on Saturday night, or Friday, one of those two broadcasts. But he was talking about how Tyler Bertuzzi of the Detroit Red Wings is set to be the only active NHL player unvaccinated or choosing to be unvaccinated. The other one that was, a little bit more prominent, I guess, was New Jersey Devils, their goaltender Mackenzie Blackwood. And there was the repercussions, same as Bertuzzi, that they wouldn't be able to play in Canada because of their rules and everything like that in regards to vaccination. But Mackenzie Blackwood now is, Freeman said he was on pace to be fully vaccinated by the time that New Jersey goes to play in Canada on December 3rd. So presumably, kind of looking at the timeline, he's had his first dose at least. You have to wait a certain amount of time until you get your second, and then it takes 2 weeks for it to fully kick in, right? Yeah. But by that time, though, he should be able to. He should be able to go to Canada to play those games. So that leaves just Tyler Bertuzzi, who wouldn't be able to go to Canada out of active NHL players, like kind of regulars and that sort of thing. Which that's already going to hit Detroit pretty quickly here, as they are already across the border to play the Montreal Canadiens coming up here, or they have played. I actually don't remember. They did play, and Montreal won 5-1 or 6-1. That was yesterday.
Something like that.
But and so there's also an article here on Yahoo from the Detroit Free Press, Helene St. James, saying that the Red Wings actually won't say if Bertuzzi is actually suspended for the games in Canada, because the teams are able to suspend their players without pay if they have to miss games due to unvaccination, whether it's crossing the border or if they're unvaccinated and get COVID. So,
Gotcha.
So it's not exactly a mandate, but like we've seen here in Canada, down there in the States as well, right, where majority of our listeners are, there's not so much mandates as there is just, repercussions, I guess, or just kind of policies around it more than anything, right? So like really the best way to describe it is the same as like the no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? You don't have at least here, like where we are in Canada, it's if you're not vaccinated, you're not able to sit in a restaurant or that sort of thing, right? Like say going to McDonald's, you're able to, you know, go in quick and order your food and come out, but you're not able to you know, sit down and take off your mask. We still have a mask mandate for the moment. But you're not able to sit down, take off your mask, and enjoy your food in the restaurants. So you have to be in and out while still keeping your mask on, sort of thing. So, so this article from Helene St. James here is saying that while Detroit traveled to Canada, Tyler Bertuzzi stayed in Detroit and skated on his own. The Wings did not practice on Friday before traveling to Montreal, where they began their first road trip of the season Saturday. Bertuzzi could not be with the team because he has refused to get the COVID-19 vaccine and under current border regulations cannot travel to Canada. The NHL and the Players Association agreed to not have a vaccine mandate, but teams can suspend without pay players who cannot participate in club activities because they are not vaccinated. Coach Jeff Bashel said the Wings, quote, would keep it internally whether Bertuzzi has been suspended. Which I found a little bit interesting, actually, that they're not putting that out. My question kind of is at this point, Steve Yzerman has been the GM now in Detroit for the last couple of years, trying to return them back to, you know, the days that he played in Detroit and whatnot, the glory days of the 90s kind of thing, and winning multiple Stanley Cups. Do you think he maybe starts to get on Bertuzzi a little bit more of like, hey, you're kind of the outlier here now, and depending, I don't know how many games they have in Canada, but they might be games that they need a guy like Bertuzzi.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure he's already been on him, and I know that that's been the stance of a lot of other GMs around the league to get certain players vaccinated. Is it's like, this is like the impact that you'll have on the team. Like you won't be able to come to these games, and like that's detrimental. Like you're letting your team down at this point. Like I'm not going to name any other players. I've just read articles about other players that have been in those situations, and then they're like, I was kind of on the fence about the vaccine, and that convinced me. I don't want to say it's peer pressure, but it kind of is. But it's in that team environment, right?
Yeah, it's the realization of being selfish. Like the cliche thing, as true as it is, though, there is no I in team, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
as much as you're just one guy to the lineup, especially if you're an impact player like Tyler Bertuzzi is on this young Detroit team, that's going to affect it, right? So I'm trying to just pull up the stats here. Yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi is currently leading the team in goals and points.
Yeah, he had quite a few tonight.
Even after the game with Montreal there and not being able to play it. So like Bertuzzi still has 5 goals and 6 points on the season. Like he is right now one of their most important players, if not the most 100%. Important. Right. Yeah. So taking yourself out of that equation, just I don't know. I'm not gonna go rant or anything like that on this. I get the feeling though that it's almost detrimental to your team if he's still not planning to get it. Considering potentially how many games they have in Canada. Like I know for New Jersey it was like 9 games that they have, right?
Yeah, I would imagine Detroit has very similar.
Yeah. And because I think Steve Yzerman is going to be on him, at least if he's not already, of like, hey, you are like one of our top guys, if not our top guy. Like we need you. And because potentially this will be more than just this season. Right, we don't know what
it could carry into next season too.
Exactly. Yeah. Like think about it. Like when the pandemic started, like how long did you think we were gonna be in this situation when everything happened?
Honestly, how long a few months, like 6 months tops, and like at worst case scenario, like a year, and we're going on 2.
Yeah, so. and we're still here, right? So we don't really know what's gonna happen, and unfortunately, it is on the people who are just not caring as much, right? So we don't know what things are going to look like in a little bit. So this could potentially carry on into next year. Do you think Bertuzzi is going to be okay, or at least the Red Wings actually? I'll rephrase that. Do you think the Red Wings are going to be okay with, say, going into next year if it happens in this way, which I hope not, honestly, just for the rest of the world in general, and I'm going to knock on wood on it. But do you think the Redwoods would be okay with going into next season and losing him for potentially another 7 to 10 games, let's say, right?
I mean, I think the easy answer is no, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, and in that case, does any other team take him then, because they would be dealing with the same situation? So
yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. So it'll be interesting to follow to see if he does get the vaccine, what the Red Wings do if they come out and say anything else. Or I mean, I think with how locked down everything is in the NHL, we probably won't hear much, if anything, about it for the next little while, except that he remains unvaccinated and next year he's still not vaccinated or whatever. I think we'll maybe get those occasional updates unless he just gets vaccinated. So,
which, just do it, Tyler. Honestly, it hurts less than a pinch. You'll be fine. You're a big, tough hockey player. Just go get it done.
Do it. Just do it.
I gotcha.
Dude, that should have been the whole ad campaign. I guess it's not even an ad campaign, but like, as advertisements of like, just go get vaccinated or that. That's what they should have done. They should have just had Shia LaBeouf just come in and just start screaming at people. Because like we're at the point now, at least up here in Canada, this is just, it's not even me ranting, I'm just talking in general, but like we have advertisements by our government, like interviewing people who are in the hospital, who are like trying to recover from having COVID, having not been vaccinated, and some of them like dealing with the variants or that sort of thing. And like I feel like we shouldn't be at this point. We should have never gotten to this point, but I think what could have helped us to not get to that point is just make fucking memes out of it. Just like,
everyone loves
right?
memes.
Like exactly. Just you'd be more inclined to do it, I guess, if Shia LaBeouf is just like could you imagine that commercial of like having it be a little bit more comedic, I guess, of like, say, a couple buddies in a living room or that, and being like, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do it. And then just Shia LaBeouf suddenly just from the right side of the frame screaming to his ear, do it. Like, so like just stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyway, Tyler, just go do what Shia said.
All right. We'll
get into it.
I think that's about it hockey wise here.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break, and on the other side, we will, wrap up what we talked about last time in What's Quacking here.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Taylor and Brendan from Straight Up Sabres of the Hockey Podcast Network. Things are not going very well in Saberland this season, or really for the past 10 years or so. However, we here at Straight Up Sabres are so excited to keep bringing you guys the latest Sabres news, with everything ranging from interviews with some of your favorite Twitter follows all the way up to former players and everything in between. We have got you covered with your weekly coverage of the Buffalo Sabres.
That's right. We got a lot coming up through the rest of the season and into the offseason. Who's going to coach the team next year? Is Kevin Adams going to have a new boss? Will he be a president of hockey operations? Will there be an assistant GM? Are they going to fill out their scouting staff? How many times will I cry next season? Maybe 0. I'm dead inside. Will Jack Eichel be here? Sam Reinhart going to get extended? All this and more on Straight Up Sabres.
Exciting stuff. So make sure you're checking us out wherever you're listening to podcasts, and following us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Straight Up Sabres, and on Twitter at Straight Sabres.
That commercial still makes me laugh at those guys.
Yeah, it's good shit.
I'm dead inside, but also so that just kind of reminded me of one thing as well. It sounds like the Eichel camp is trying another step forward, like with like a third opinion kind of thing or something like that. But it sounds like potentially if a trade is not made in the next 2 weeks, it sounds like Eichel might actually file a grievance with the NHLPA. That was coming from Elliot Friedman.
That'll be super interesting. So
yeah, I mean, I think all eyes around the league have been on that situation. So
for a long time.
Yeah, the hashtag of like Free Jack going around on Twitter.
Yeah,
I've seen it quite a few. Like it hasn't really died off. So
Mhm.
But like, man, I just if he comes to Anaheim, fucking great. I will love that.
Hell yeah.
But just get him out of there. Just in general, get him out of there. I don't even if he goes, and I'm not even saying this as a Flames fan. I'm trying to stick with the Ducks' perspective here. If he even goes to Calgary, he's at least out of Buffalo and out of that situation.
Yeah. Or even
So-
Vegas. Fuck it. Send him to Vegas. They can have him. Just as long as he's not in Buffalo.
No, not Vegas. Okay, there's one other team that he can't go to.
But it's not as bad as Buffalo, is what I'm saying.
Sorry, there's two other teams he can't go to because Nikita Kucherov is on LTIR right now, and they suddenly have the cap space to make a Jack Eichel work.
Yeah. I wonder when Kucherov's going to come off of LTIR.
You better soon because I have him on my fantasy team. Fuck.
Too bad fantasy doesn't go to the playoffs, hey?
Damn it.
Anyways, I just wanted to wrap up the Sabres talk here with they definitely have more reasons not to cry than to cry, with the Sabres being 3-1-1 on the season.
Yeah, they play Tampa on Monday.
So
So 3-2-1.
1. Jack Eichel is still in Buffalo, and Sam Reinhart has been traded. So that wraps up all of your questions. Straight up Sabres.
Oh my God. Wait. Galaxy brain time. You ready?
Okay.
Jack Eichel is going to be traded on Thursday
Okay.
because, and he'll hop on the plane with the Buffalo Sabres
Mhm.
and just go to his new pad in Anaheim on Thursday night.
I could see it. Yeah.
So I remember you texting me of like that healthy scratch of Comtois, like rumored to be for Eichel reasons. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to lose him, but also like Eichel, fucking give it to me, man.
Inject that in, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Give me surgery and inject it into my veins.
Yeah. All right. We do have a What's Quacking, so I think we should get to that here.
All right. So on the last episode, I brought up the fact that
Opinion.
That
This is the problem. Never. No, I'm not going to say it.
what's the problem, Carter? What's the problem?
Facts and opinions aren't the same thing. I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay, well, I'm going to make it fact here.
Okay.
That country, like decent country, we're not talking about stadium country
Yes.
crap.
As we talked about. Yeah.
Decent country music is just twangy pop punk.
Okay. And I'm
And
not
we had-
convinced.
No, you're not convinced. So what I have done is I have set up a game for you, Carter.
Okay.
I have 10, clips of lyrics here from pop punk and country songs.
Mhm.
All right. Of people that
Now-
you would generally know of, like not even being a
Okay.
country fan, like they're bigger names at least. And they have their, let's say like a few of them have their fair share of some of the stadium country stuff, but like for the
Mhm.
most part, their music is decent. Like it's stuff that I'm fine listening to when my girlfriend throws it on in the car. So I have a mix here, and I've randomized the list as well, so as to not have any patterns or that sort of thing in which songs I'm picking and
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So I've randomized it, and so I'm going to how the game's going to work is I'm going to read you the lyric, and you have to tell me if it's a country song or if it's a pop punk song.
Okay.
All
And the
right,
more
and
of
then
these I get means like the more different country and pop punk are. And if I don't get any of them, then you're right. They're the same.
They're
Is that
pretty
kind of the
same.
point?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many of these do I have to get right? Like what's kind of the, I want to say baseline, but that's not right. The
Say 6 out of 10. I feel
6. If I
So
get 6
that's
out of
fair?
10, then
then there's a
you're wrong.
distinguishable difference.
okay.
Well, yeah, we'll just say there's a distinguishable difference. But I've also tried to pick lyrics that could be either or.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because I even put my girlfriend through this a little bit as well, and she was like, "Okay, that could really go either way."
Okay.
So, all right. So, 10 chunks of lyrics. All right, you
Okay.
ready?
Yep.
All right. So the first one. What's your guilty pleasure? Your old go-to? Well, if you asked me, mine would be you. Is it a country lyric or is it a pop punk lyric?
I feel like I've heard that before. So
You want me to read it one more time?
yeah.
Okay. What's your guilty pleasure? Your old go-to? Well, if you asked me, mine would be you.
First of all, I got to ask, do you know what these are? Like when you read them, you're like, oh, I remember that's from this song.
I have it written here, like who it's by, like what the
you have
song
it
is.
written
In that.
beside.
Yes,
Okay,
I have
gotcha.
it written.
Okay.
So I know
I wasn't
the
sure if you had the answer key like somewhere else.
Yeah, and I'll give you the answer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just because I feel like I've heard this before, and it's not that I don't listen to country music, but it sounds like a pop punk song.
You want to play the incorrect sound, bud? That is a country song. That is Mine Would Be You by Blake Shelton.
Okay. You're right. I do know Blake Shelton, so I have heard of him. What was the song called? Mine Would Be You or something?
Mine Would Be You. Yeah, by Blake Shelton.
Okay. Dumb song name, but whatever.
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, for sure.
In a world full of heartache, seems like everyone's burning out. You and me, we did it our way. This love ain't running out.
Because of the use of ain't, my gut is immediately telling me to say country.
Play the incorrect sound.
Are you fucking kidding? I was thinking pop punk the whole time, and then I heard ain't, and I was like, that's a country word.
That was Boom by Simple Plan.
I don't know if I know that one. Is that an older one or newer one?
I guess it was off their most recent album. We did a cover of it.
No, we did not.
Yes,
absolutely
we did.
not.
I can find it.
Okay.
We never did anything with it, but we did do a cover of it. It was like back in our first year, I think.
Okay.
All right, so Carter is 0 for 2 currently.
That's rough. Okay.
All right, next one. Tidal waves, they rip right through me. Tears from eyes worn, cold and sad. Pick me up now, I need you so bad. You can tell me if you want it. Yeah, you can tell me if you want it a second time. Tidal waves, they rip right through me. Tears from eyes worn, cold and sad. Pick me up now, I need you so bad.
That's very emotional and depressing, which makes me want to say pop punk right away. But I know that country music can also be pretty emotional.
I've got a variety in here of like the moods and everything like that. So
so it really could go either way with this one. Can I have just the first line again?
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Tidal waves, they rip right through me.
My gut wants to say pop punk, but it feels my gut also wants to say country, so I don't know.
I need an answer, Carter.
I got to go pop punk.
You can play the correct sound for once.
Yes.
That is Down by Blink-182.
Okay.
Which, fun fact, as I was going through this, like I came across that lyric and I'm like, oh, actually, I want to listen to that again. And I had the music video up on my second screen here, and Terry Crews is in that music video. Actually,
Nice.
I was like, wait
hilarious.
a second, was that Terry? Like, and I took a look, like I hadn't seen that video in forever, and I was like, oh shit, it's Terry Crews. All right, so you are 1 for 3 currently.
Okay, not too bad. Not too bad.
All right, next one here. Got it going on like Donkey Kong. Shut my mouth, slap your grandma.
What? I'm so confused by what these lyrics are just even trying to say that.
Do you want it one more time?
Yeah, I do.
Got it going on like Donkey Kong. Shut my mouth, slap your grandma.
That's just so absurd that I want to say pop punk, but I don't know if you're trying to trick me with this one, and it's some like weird country song, or maybe like an Old Town Road like country rap kind of one, you know?
The fuck?
Okay.
I just got one more time, or do you have an answer?
I just have to say pop punk.
That is incorrect.
What? There's no way that's a real country song.
That was Honky Tonk Badonkadonk by Trace Adkins.
Who? I don't even know who that is.
I think if you heard the song, you would know it, because even I did.
Okay. I mean, I really doubt it, but I'll look it up after and let you know.
I read that line and I'm like, this could be a Bowling for Soup song.
That's 100% what I thought. Yeah. I was thinking Bowling for Soup or Blink 182, which I figured you wouldn't do two of them, but.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Said. I read the wrong one. Okay, I got to make a note of that.
What did you
there
read
we
the
go.
wrong one of?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you because I'm still going to read the
see.
actual one eventually.
Oh, okay.
I read in the order. I read it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Okay, back on track. Here's the next one. Now I cannot sleep. I lost my voice, speechless and redundant. Because I love you's not enough. I'm lost for words.
Because I love you's not enough.
Yeah, because
there's an S.
Because I love you's not enough. Yeah.
Oh, I love you is not enough. I see. Okay.
Yeah, but it's condensed.
Yeah,
So.
I see that. Yeah. I thought you were.
Do you want it one more time?
Yeah, I do, but I thought you were going like with the old Alabama, like, oh, I love yous guys, you know.
Well, like it is
not Alabama, but
it is like YOU''S.
Yeah, I know what
that
it's
is
saying.
how the lyric is written. Yeah,
I know what it's saying now, and it makes grammatical sense, but I thought it didn't at first. So, but yes, I'd like it one more time, please.
Now I cannot sleep. I've lost my voice, speechless and redundant. Because I love you's not enough. I'm lost for words.
I gotta say, pop punk for that.
That is correct.
Cool.
That was Redundant by Green Day.
Okay.
Off of their 1997 album Nimrod.
Of course, you'd know that. I don't know that song.
That's like a top 10 song, like top 10 Green Day song for me. So I like that one. So
cool.
All right. Carter is currently 2 for 5.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
What did we say I need? 6?
6. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go to the next one here. Yeah, life has hit me just because it can with heavy hands, but that's all part of growing up.
Oh, I think I know this song. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, life has hit me just because it can with heavy hands, but that's all part of growing up.
It screams country at me until that very last line. Oh, man. That's tough. You know, I think I'm already kind of starting to see your point here because like growing up is such a big theme in both country and music or country and pop punk.
Country and music. Wow.
Country and real
Carter's
music.
taking a stance here. Country is not music. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of thematic overlap, but I'm trying to decipher like the nuances in the lyrics, you know. Can I have it one more time?
Yes, you can. Yeah, life has hit me just because it can with heavy hands, but that's all part of growing up.
I just got to stick with country here.
That is correct.
Yeah. I think it was the at the beginning that gave it away.
I guess
it's like the old
pop
country.
Punk has a lot of yas, but yes, I guess you're right. Okay.
Yeah, there is yas in pop punk too.
You're right. That was Part of Growing Up by Kip Moore.
Don't know who that is either.
Okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Yep. I'm on a roll. Let's go.
All right. Next one is, remember when 30 seemed so old? Now looking back, it's just a stepping stone to where we are, where we've been. I'll give it one more time.
Yeah.
Remember when 30 seemed so old? Now looking back, it's just a stepping stone to where we are, where we've been.
I think it's got to be country again.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
Nice. Another part of it that got me leaning towards it was looking instead of looking. I don't know. Not that pop punk always enunciates every word either, but I don't know. Just like that line.
We know I'm not for it. So
yeah. I don't know. Something just felt super country about that line.
yeah.
And also I don't know. I feel like country music's a little bit more metaphorical and abstract, like the stepping stones, where we've been, all that stuff. Like I'm like, there's no way a pop punk writers or singers coming up with something like that metaphorical. I don't know. Not that there's not metaphors in pop punk. Yeah, no. I don't know. It's just I think I'm picking up on the differences now. So
just a couple things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I keep my jealousy close because it's all mine. And if you say this makes you happy, then I'm not the only one lying.
That's pop punk.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
Nice. I don't know who the song is, though.
That is Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner by Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
I was going to laugh so hard if that was the one you got wrong.
I mean, I honestly, if I listened to that song, I don't think I'd be able to pick out where that lyric was, but it definitely sounded like just something recognizable. I don't know.
I was going to say, like, when I was looking at this, I didn't know the line, like the word lying was at the tag end of that, because he like drags that out and it just sounds like he's actually like saying one again, but dragging that note, like, but dragging that word out. So,
yeah.
All right. So this is basically make or break. You have to get one of the next two right.
Okay. That's good because I was 2 for 5. So I would have had to go 4 for 5.
So you've had the last 4 correct, actually. That's pretty good.
See, I'm on a roll. I'm telling you, I've got it figured out now.
But
I don't know what it is, but I've got it
kind of, but like as we're going into the last 2, you do kind of see what I'm saying, though.
I kind of see your point. Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna get. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna get a little bit trickier with these ones.
Oh no!
it just happened to be how it ended up. It was the first time and the last time they saw each other face to face. They shared a crimson smile and just walked away and left the secret at the grave.
Ooh, there's a lot to unpack in there. Can I have that one more time? Yeah.
It was the first and the last time they saw each other face to face. They shared a crimson smile and just walked away and left the secret at the grave.
That's really tough because I can see how it can be both again, which proves your point, which is fucking stupid. I've been trying for the last few, not the last ones I've gotten right, but like the last 2 or 3, that to one time when you read it, I just like hear it in the voice of a country or a pop punk, whichever one I think is easier, and then I try and imagine it in the other voice the second time, and yeah, and I think that's been working okay. And when I first heard it, I could hear it best in a country voice, so I'm gonna go with country on this one.
That is correct.
Nice.
That was 2 Black Cadillacs by Carrie Underwood.
Okay. I think what threw me off on that one is because I do know that song from way back when. I think it's an older one, right?
I'm not actually sure off the top of my head.
Okay. I feel like it is. Carrie Underwood's been around for a long time, so probably. So I think I knew that song, and that's maybe why I was leaning pop punk, but
straight up, I read that lyric and I was like, yeah, okay, like I know it's Carrie Underwood because I'm reading that. That could also be a My Chemical Romance lyric.
yeah, for sure.
All right. So you have hit the 6. You are correct. I will give you the last one, but the point has also been made, as you have said a few times.
Yeah.
All right. Last one here. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey Princess, drink me under, pull me in. You had me at come over, boy. I need a friend.
Okay. Because not that whiskey is exclusively sung about in country music, but that is a pretty big topic in country music.
Do you want it one more time?
No, I got to unpack this a little bit before I think about it again. So, whiskey's a pretty big thing. It could still be talked about in pop punk music. That's for sure. Highly unlikely. But also, this would be a prime candidate for the good old switcheroo, you know? Where you're talking about whiskey, but it actually is like the one pop punk song ever that talks about whiskey. So.
You want to hear it one more time now?
I think so.
Okay.
I forget the rest.
You got fixated on whiskey.
Yeah, I'm also really thirsty, so there's that.
All right. Whiskey Princess, drink me under, pull me in. You had me at come over boy, I need a friend. You can tell me if you need it again, and like I'll keep repeating it.
No, I think I'm good. The other thing I'm fixated on is that there are more male pop punk singers than female ones, whereas in country, I feel like there's more female, not more female, but like it's a little, there's more female
more
singers
prominent.
in country than in pop punk. Yeah. And the whole come over boy, I need a friend thing is like, I don't know. Maybe, I guess a guy could say that, right? Like a girl could be like, come over, boy, I need a friend. But a guy can also be like, come over here, boy. You know? Whiskey Princess.
Or you
tough.
can be inclusive with it too. You never know.
Yeah, I know. That's I guess. Yeah, I don't have to be 87 years old. But
do you want it one more time?
Yeah, I do. This is a tough one. You're right.
Whiskey Princess, drink me under, pull me in. You had me at come over, boy. I need a friend.
My gut says pop punk, or sorry, my gut says country, but I want to say pop punk, mostly because it doesn't even matter, and I want to tell my gut to fuck off. So I'm going to say pop punk.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Nice. Let's go.
Now, okay, bonus question.
Okay.
Who's the band?
Who's the band?
You don't have to give me the song, just who's the band?
Oh, boy. Is it All Time Low?
Holy shit, you are right.
Hell yeah. I feel like I would know the song.
All Time Low.
It is. Okay. Did you record
nice
a version of that one in our first year recording production class?
No, I did Remembering Sunday.
Oh, right.
Because of the acoustic guitar. So, and I wanted to work on that a little bit. So,
okay. Yeah. I thought it might have been that one, but I don't know. I feel like I've just heard the lyrics of that one quite a bit. And I know Backseat Serenade is one of your favorites. So it's probably just been in there somewhere.
Yeah. And which made it even more funny because we had written a song together and I had done like all the constructing of it and that kind of stuff. And I had written this song before I started. I'd written the song. I kind of worked on it a little bit. And then we started working on stuff together, including this song. But then I started to dive deeper into All Time Low, with them becoming one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And we were working on this last year in the studio. And I was like, wait a second. And I put the two songs side by side and accidentally made a similar song. It's not like exact or anything like that, but like the structure and how it's paced, like obviously there it's verse chorus kind of thing, but and how it's paced, it was very similar. And I was like, that's not intentional because I hadn't even really listened to that All Time Low song until like before that. So it was kind of funny, just like coincidental. There was another example. I mean, there's always been examples of that, but I think the best one that I remember hearing was Escape the Fate and Papa Roach. Escape the Fate had did is it called Broke My Heart, I think.
I know which one you're talking about, but yeah, I don't remember what the song's called right now. Oh man.
I'm taking a look here.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Heart by Escape the Fate, and the Papa Roach song was Help, I believe. Go listen to those two songs, and it's the same key, the same structure. everything like that. Like you could swap the lyrics, like if you had like the isolated vocal tracks, you could swap them and it still works perfectly. And they were working on these songs at the same time and they were friends and they're like, hey, can you check out this track of ours? And they sent each other those tracks and we're like, holy shit, what did we do? So, but
yeah,
like
they came out around the same time too. Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was funny. So, and then, like I was listening between the two of them and I was like, that sounds similar. And then I happened to come across an article that said like, that they had swapped the tracks or whatever. And like, we're kind of laughing about it that they had wrote similar sounding songs at least. So, all right. Nice job. You got 7 out of 10. I'm actually impressed that you got that many, honestly. Like not to put a damper like on your skills or that kind of thing, but I actually wasn't expecting that high. So
honestly, I kind of wasn't either. Just to
but you do see
quickly
the point.
talk about this. I do. Yeah. I'm gonna take my 7 out of 10 and say that I'm right, you're wrong. Country is not just twangy pop punk; they are different.
As much as you said, yes.
I think there's maybe not between every genre. There's some connections, but there definitely is overlap. Like,
there is. Yeah,
but between different genres as well. Like, I'm trying to think of like 2 drastically different genres, and I was going to say blues and rock, and I was like, those are the same. Blues and country, those are the same. But I guess that kind of proves my point. Like a lot of the roots are the same. So country evolved from blues, rock evolved from blues, pop punk evolved from rock. There is a lot of the similarity in Western music in general. So I don't know. I think if you tried hard enough, you could find some similarities, but there's enough differences that evidently you can get 70% of them right.
I was going to say, like, you can. Like, this isn't just strictly between these two, but like I felt like taking the lyrics, say, of a country song, placing it into a pop punk song or like a pop punk cover, let's say. Yeah. You wouldn't really, it wouldn't throw you off that much.
It wouldn't sound
this works. No. Like this. Yeah, exactly. It would fit with the idea of the genre. So, but I think maybe we need to do like another one of like 2 random things. I think that'd be kind of fun to do.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. We'll give it some time to stew, and eventually we'll just pick 2 random obscure genres and
do like R&B and like heavy
death metal
or something.
Death
metal, Norwegian death metal.
That'd be good.
All right, there you go.
Or like Christian, like gospel music and like Eminem type rap. I think that one would be pretty obvious, but
Mom spaghetti. It's rap. It's Eminem.
No, it's talking about Mother Mary's spaghetti.
Yeah. That shit's good. Oh, sorry, Mother Mary. That stuff's good.
All right. Well, this has been a pretty long episode. Thank you to everybody who stuck around to the end to find out that country is not just twangy pop punk music. We will see you guys again on Wednesday, and we will talk about the Jets game that is upcoming. Nate, where can they tweet all of their genre fluid music lyrics at you?
You can tweet them at me at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS.
As well at Quack Report Pod, so that I can maybe have a chance of seeing them as well, because it'd be pretty cool. You can follow myself at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. You can follow the network at HockeyPodNet. Thank you guys again for listening, and we will see you guys next time.